As it pertains to being a father, a lot of times we struggle with that. I mean, I know I struggle with it on a regular basis. Sometimes I think that something is supposed to be more difficult than it actually is. And I might even take measures to make something more difficult than it actually has to be because of the concept of no struggle, no progress. But the reality is, if I flip it and I redefine the concept of struggle not to be something that's negative, but to simply be the work, then I can release myself from it's almost like an imposter syndrome, so to speak, in which I feel that things have to be more difficult than they actually are. But the reality is, it's not about the difficulty, it's about the work.
What's happening, y'all? This is Mike D with Black Fathers Now, where we're bringing the village to the brothers. Every couple of weeks, you can look forward to a quick inspirational message or a thought-provoking guest with knowledge and wisdom, all geared towards helping you be the best father that you can be. We're bringing the village to you. Now it's your turn to do something with what you learned. All right, y'all. Let's go.
What's going on, fellas? This is Mike D, Mr. Double Down on You, and welcome to another episode of Black Fathers Now. You probably hear my two munchkins arguing in the background. Yeah, we're sitting outside and they're fussing about playing on the back of the car, but it is what it is. But today's episode, I wanted to drop something on you all to think about. And it's the concept of no struggle, no progress. No struggle, no progress. So, I think numerous individuals utilize this philosophy in regards to operation, right? No struggle, no progress. Meaning we have to struggle to get to a certain point. But I wanted you to rethink that just a little bit. Because there's always a negative connotation associated with struggle. There's a negative connotation associated with it. But the reality is, it's not about struggle, it's about the work. So I would actually flip the concept into not being no struggle, no progress, but no work, no progress. So when you think about work, work does not always have to be something that is negative. It does not have to be something that's arduous. It does not have to be something that wears you completely out. But it's just the act of doing. So there's no progress without doing. What are you doing? As it pertains to being a father, a lot of times we struggle with that. I mean, I know I struggle with it on a regular basis. Sometimes I think that something is supposed to be more difficult than it actually is. And I might even take measures to make something more difficult than it actually has to be because of the concept of no struggle, no progress. But the reality is, if I flip it and I redefine the concept of struggle not to be something that's negative, but to simply be the work, then I can release myself from it's almost like an imposter syndrome, so to speak, in which I feel that things have to be more difficult than they actually are. But the reality is, it's not about the difficulty, it's about the work. So as it pertains to life, as it pertains to fatherhood, as it pertains to success, as it pertains to personal development, no struggle, no progress probably needs to be redefined in a way that makes sense to us. And it needs to be stated more so, no work, no progress. Because if you're willing to do the work, you're going to take steps in the right direction. All right? So it's all about defining this concept of struggle. Again, we love to get on the struggle bus and we want to be down with the struggle and all of that. But the reality is, the struggle does not have to be bad. We always jump to the negative side of things, but the struggle doesn't have to be bad. Sometimes the struggle is just simply doing the work. So instead of no struggle, no progress, let's think about the concept of no work, no progress. But then also release yourself from feeling like you must go through something hard to get to a certain place, because sometimes you will, But the reality is sometimes you won't. All right. So again, instead of no struggle, no progress, let's flip it. No work, no progress. All right. So what kind of work are you doing? What kind of work are you putting in as a dad, as a man, as a businessman, as a community leader, at whatever your role is in life, whatever you're doing in life, what kind of work are you putting in? Because work can only be done in the moment. So that means that you have to submit yourself to the moment if you're going to effectively do the work. All right. No work, no progress. All right, fellas. Well, hey, I hope all are doing well. I hope everyone's staying healthy. I hope you are adhering to the rules that are out there, the social distancing. If your city has released and allowed you to get out there and do your thing, make sure you're doing so safely. But other than that, I pray everyone is well. And, in the midst of all of these challenging times, you've grown, developed, and found a way to turn the corner and become a better version of yourself. So, hey, as always, make sure to visit blackfathersnow.com, subscribe via iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, this YouTube channel here, right down here. Yeah, subscribe to this thing, leave some ratings, leave some comments, and share this, as the whole goal is for this to help someone, right? It's all about personal development. It's all about you being the best man that you're supposed to be. And ultimately, that should lead to you being the best father that you should be. Black Fathers Now. What are you taking with the information and utilizing right now? All right. Now, fellas, I got to get back to these kids over here. But until next time, y'all be blessed, well, and wise. And I'll holler at you. Peace.
Yo, fellas, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And always, always, always visit blackfathersnow.com, as well as follow Black Fathers Now on virtually every social media platform you can think of. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. Just follow us and engage with us, man. Look forward to hearing from you. And I guess until next time, I'll holler at you. Peace.